This is Singh at the Worley Fly Shop, continuing with our video fly tying series. Today I'll be showing you the Royal PMX. This is an excellent big attractor dry. Fish is great here all summer into the fall as well. So let's get tying. Alright, to start this fly I'm using a size 6 streamer hook. I'd recommend something like the Mustad R73 or equivalent for this. Just something with a nice long shank, fairly heavy wire. And the thread that I'm using is a 140 by UTC. Lay down a good thread base here. So, now for the tail I'm using some bull elk. It's by Nature's Spirit, really excellent hair. And I want to take a very small pinch of this, like this, kind of comb through it a bit. And you can stack this if you like. I'm just doing a quick hand stack here. And you want this tail to be fairly short. So if you're measuring by proportions, about 1/3 of the hook shank. Throw a very loose thread wrap over all that hair. And basically what I like doing for this fly is just creating a very loose pinch there, and I'm holding all the hair to the hook shank, thread slack, and then I can form a nice tie-in point up at the front here to flare the butts out, just so I don't have to worry about them back there. And then clip those short. And then when you tie back on the body, the taper is completely natural down the entire shank. Like that. Just clip any stray butts there. Thread all the way back. And you're ready for the royal body now. So it's peacock herl and red floss. I'm using some strung peacock here. And for a fly this big, you can use a decent amount of herls. Just tying these in by the tips. And then I'm going to twist them around the thread here. This really adds a lot of extra durability as opposed to just wrapping the herl. And it also helps to form that kind of ball shape that this body has. So if you have some extra twisted herl here, you can just take your thread, loop it back up to the body, and then catch the rest of them like that. Just keeps the entire body tight. And trim those fairly close. Tie them in flush. So I'm going to take my red floss, it's uni floss. And I'm just going to double this over the thread since this body's fairly big. Like that. Then bring the thread up to where you want that royal red stripe to end. Just keep wrapping that floss up. Catch with the thread there. And trim it off. So now you can make the next peacock ball. Same method. Just take some herl. And this one, just to keep a consistent taper. I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but I kind of like the look of tying in the butts on this side first. And then twisting the thread here. Just creates a more definite edge on where that body starts. Not that the fish would care. And then tie that thread in again. You still want to leave a decent amount of hook shank here. Tie the rest of the fly. So now that I have that royal body done, I'm going to tie in the wing, more bull elk. Come through it a bit. Just lay that top of the shank here. Just very loosely pinch it. Throw some loose wraps over it, and then as those butts flare out, you kind of weave the thread in there. And trim them. tie down any loose butts there. This will all be covered up anyway. Not too important. And then we're ready to tie in the parachute post. So for this, I'm using some white widow's web. Any other poly yarn will work. Just gonna take a decent amount of this. I'm gonna bring it up from the hook shank up like this, and throw some thread around the front and the back, and then start that parachute post. Like that. All right, now I'm going to tie in some more hurl back here. So tie in a decent amount, quite a few strands there, because this is going to be covering up that entire thorax, like so. At this point, I'm also going to tie in a brown hackle, a large brown hackle like this. You can find big feathers like this on most pro grade capes. The whiting bugger packs also have a lot of excellent feathers for big dries like this. Let's just tie that stem in, flush with the parachute post there. And now we're ready to add some rubber legs. Take a single strand of these medium brown round rubber legs. Create a pair here, and then just tie both of those in on top, and then just drag them to both sides. Cinch down there, they'll splay out nicely like that for you. Now we're ready to bring the peacock up. So this is the point where this fly can get a little tricky. There's a lot of things going on here, but just take it slow and just rope this peacock up. Just weave one in between the very back of the leg there. Now at the tie-in point of the legs, a couple there, one in front, and once you get to that post, I'm gonna add a couple in front there. Just push that back a bit. And now tie off right behind the eye. So I can trim that hurl. I'm gonna add a little glue there just to make sure it doesn't come undone. And finally, we can wrap this hackle. So I'm wrapping this in a counterclockwise way. I'm wrapping a hackle on a parachute post. This is the best way to keep that hackle tight. If you're going the other way, then when you tie it down with thread going this way, it creates some slack in the stem. I'm adding a decent amount of hackle to this post, keep big fly afloat. And once you're happy with the way that post looks, stroke all the barbs back here and catch the stem. Then throw some half hitches or whip finish head of that fly. And trim the hackle. Trim that thread off. Now just trim the post to whatever size you like that. Legs are looking good. And that is the finished Royal PMX. Excellent, excellent dry fly on the yak all summer. Great attractor fly, good stonefly imitation also. Just looks super good on the water. So thanks for joining us. All the materials can be found at our website or at the shop, so give us a call or order online.